My generation, for our entire lives, every conversation about equality has been one like a seesaw. We're taught that you must push one side down to bring the other side up. And that's something that we know is really, it's inherently discriminatory and it's inherently immoral to think that way. So my question is, as a generation, how can we try to overcome that in this country? And how can we teach our children and the next generations better?
I'll go first.
Yeah, it's important to define what equality means. They're using this new word and they're letting it slip, which is their real goal, which is equity. There's a difference. So equality under the law is moral and it is essential. It is the tenets of William Blackstone to John Locke to the brilliance of the Founding Fathers. It is the basis behind the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, and the Sixth Amendment, and yes, the First Amendment as well, which is that you have a right to be free, you have a right to be assumed innocent until the state can prove otherwise against you, which is the rule of law that we take for granted in our country. And equality under the law is essential and moral. And there's a second type of equality, equality of opportunity. It is admirable. We should strive towards this. This is why Candace and I are advocates of school choice. We're advocates of rebuilding the American family, of increasing literacy. We're never going to quite get to equality of opportunity, but we can get close and we can make attempts towards it. Then there's the third type of equality, which shouldn't even be called equality. It's really equity, or equity of outcome, which is to take from one group to another and to blame discrimination for that disparity. That is evil and it must be opposed at all costs. If I gave $100 to every single person in this room and you came back, some people would go buy some stock on Robinhood, other people would go out and have a nice time at the bar, and other people just lose the money. When you have liberty, outcomes will be different. It's a hard thing to say, but people will be rewarded for good choices and they'll be penalized for bad choices. That's the price of liberty. And so it's very important that we communicate the differences between equality under the law, equality of opportunity, and then equity, which is really forced redistributionism for a desired result, which is nothing more than a totalitarian power grab.
Right, and I'll just add to that that one of the underlining more sinister motives that the left is really after, and the institutions are after, and the professors are after, is this idea of collectivizing, right? And to teach you that there's no differences between you and the person next to you, because you guys should all end up the same, and everyone should start the same, end up the same, and that couldn't be further from the truth. And remove race from the equation. Do you, or include race? Do you think that LeBron James and I had the same advantages in life on the basketball court? He's a monster. I mean, he's a giant guy, right? And so he was born with certain advantages that other people are not born with, right? And so you have to realize that when the left is doing these sorts of things, what they're really after is trying to teach this idea of sameness, like we don't have different tastes, which is what Charlie is hinting at when he says, if I gave everybody $100, everybody in this room would do something different with those $100. They don't want you to be an individual, and they're trying to teach us there's something harmful and wrong and backwards about individuality. And also at the same time, they're trying to shame you, to make people that are successful to feel shameful about that. It's even in our language, it's coded in our language to make us feel shameful about success. You know, selfishness, that's selfish. You hear that over and over and over again. You have to take care of yourself first, right? Your family second. You bring up talking about how do we make things better in the future. Take care of yourself, and that's really a Socratic idea there, right? Socrates in the very beginning walked around and said to people, how are you doing? Take care of yourself. Well, what he really meant is that make sure you're doing work individually. Until you are a good person and you are on your own 2 feet, you should not be seeking to change the entire world. Make sure your home is in order before you try to step into somebody else's and make a difference. So really ignore those professors, focus on yourself, and you'll be able to do better in the long run to help others.